Welcome back to MK Sportscars. The Cup 200 car has its debut at Pembrey race circuit. Not sure about a race suit, more like a wetsuit. RX5 turbo conversions are complete and another Hayabusa takes its first breath. Don't go anywhere guys, you don't want to miss it. Douche! Idiot. Hi guys, welcome back to MK Sportscars. Back in the workshop here over at #Brian's car. Well, it probably doesn't look like much has changed because it's always wiring again. We're doing all the bits and bobs to fly in the flat shifter and everything else again. But it is on the ground now, finally. Done most of the gear on it. Just waiting for some wheels to come in back from powder coating because they're being black rather than normal grey that we do. Dashboard has sort of been put in, mocked up, but we've got to finish the final bits of wiring. So it's all in, but we're just working with these and making sure where we are with the OBT bits and bobs, just checking all the diagnostics on the car. Then this is temporarily put in, ready to run up to temperatures before we put the final bulkhead on and the header tank and everything else. So it's sort of final preps to get it all fired up, running, checking temperatures, and then buttoning up the last final bits. Right over here at the other booster build that's been going on, lots of changes going on. Again, what we're on with, it's the boring stuff, it's wiring. Nothing exciting about wiring. It doesn't look like many things changes, but we're on with doing all the major components like the lights, the front and rear lights, everything else to wire up the flat shifter system. Neil's just going through this as we speak now, just checking everything that's going to be done, and then we can test everything. And again, a bit like Brian's car, we do a test on everything else, get all the components together, and push that forward. But in the interior here, they finally finished the trim parts on the carbon interior, the tunnel top, carbon interior panel sets, carbon dashboard, handbrake lever and everything else has also gone in. And as you know, this last week, it's all on the freewheel. So there's a lot of wiring integrating the Bluetooth systems on and that. It's a bit of a minefield of stuff to do, but you know, it comes together.
Adrian, give it a start, will ya? Like it.
Right now, some exciting news where the Cup 200 car has been stretching its legs at Pembrey for its debut. Well, do you know what? Let's head over to the track and see how it got on. Right, well, over here, chassis time. Well, another chassis has landed. This one, before it goes out, is having brake lines, fuel lines, floor pan, pedal box all fitted into the vehicle as well. This is going to be a Busa car, so it's sort of going to have a FIA roll cage as well. Going to be very much a track-focused car, but this is last job to do with the rest of the components to get boxed up, ready, and delivered to the customer. And if you're into chassis, guess what? Chassis register time. It's up there for you. Right, another chassis here. This chassis, slightly different to what you saw earlier. It's all square tube. The reason it's all square tube, this is the Cup200 chassis. We're on with, this is Cup number 2, so we're starting the process of this. This will head off back to RLM at some point, but we're starting the process to get this ready because this is also hoping to be headed out in around August time to get its debut. So Gen 2 Busa in here. It will have all the throttle bodies and that aftermarket AT throttle bodies, life ECU and everything else, but basically we've got onto it, steering rack, front suspension, all the pushwood stuff, 265mm groove and drill disc on the front. It's got the new bushed wishbones in here, so very different. So it's a rubber bonded bush in there now, rather than the poly bush or rose joint that we do. Makes it very, very simple. We've got braided hoses all the way through on this car. So these braided lines sit into it in here, very quick to fit, very easy to maintain and replace if the vehicle was to have a problem. And we do them, we cable tie these in. They're on a double cable tie here, so it sits nice and tight and away from the chassis, so there's no rubbing, etc. So it's a standoff cable tie, which really makes it quite neat and tidy actually. So we're on with that. Pedal box has gone in, diff's gone in, fuel tank's gone in. The new gear lever section, which is a bearing type, this is what it is here. You won't be able to see it that well, guys, but there's a bearing in here, double-sided on both sides. This fits in the centre here, and it's an offset gear lever, so that this brings it closer to the steering wheel now, the nylon gear knob. But it basically helps with quicker gear changes here. Obviously the hand's not off the wheel so long, so it really does help. But that was sitting there, and when it's on these bearings you just get a smoother feel to it and more consistency. So yeah, that's done. The new bearing columns that are in, you probably haven't seen these, but the new bearing columns are in, which goes in here. Again, makes it a smoother feel to the column. Simple things like that. These are in here, which is for a little tray that we put in here for your fuel lines, electrics, brake line to run through the outside. And then we've got another one that's going to go on the other side here. This will be on that side, and that's going to be for the fire extinguisher system as well, to plumb that in under the centre tunnel. Yeah, prop shaft's gone in. Reverse sprocket we've put in. We ain't putting the motor in. We put them in because it's easier if we ever need to do it, if we have to comply with certain regs. Certain regs, when you're racing, do require a reverse motor. The one that we're doing at the moment doesn't, but if it does get moved into a different class, or we change class, or we try to run it in something else, we can always put the motor in. It's quick and easy to do then. So yeah, this is on Cup 2. If you want to know more about that, the cars, etc., come down and see us here, hook us up, phone call, email, or obviously hook up Rich at RLM Racing. He's going to be the main person behind building these going forward, and he'll be happy to help as well. Right, over here we've got the RX5, which we was doing a turbo conversion on for the customer. This one was for sale, is sold. We're doing a turbo conversion for him. It's pretty much buttoned up now, but they also wanted the windscreen fitted, the wipers fitted, the washer bottle fitted. But all the turbo stuff's done now, nose cone's all buttoned up now. Just literally a little bit of fluids now to go in. Then we can run it all up to temperatures and check, do a test drive on the vehicle as well, because the rest of the car we know is fundamentally all spot on because it passed IVA, it was all done, all road tested beforehand. Just the big changes is obviously these bad boys and all the injectors and everything else that goes with it, in the coolers, etc., and all of that. So yeah, slightly different. The nose cone has been changed because it used to have a stripe on that, etc. That's all been painted out grey. They left the Kawasaki Space green stripes down the side, and the big difference is it's also now got some new boots and wheels on it, so it's gone to Pro Race 1.2s all round, which is obviously a lovely wheel and tyre combination. Yeah, kind of needs it when you've got this kind of horsepower to have a decent wheel and tyre combination on there as well. All the dashboards finally gone back in now as well. It's the standard dashboard on this with the clocks from the donor vehicle from the MX-5, but very, very simple instrumentation. Really nice, clean, super interior on this as well. So very simple, easy to drive. But yeah, the rest of it's pretty much as you go through the car there. LED light pack, you know, roll cages in here as well, the cross brace and that. So Yeah, it's going to be a nice little car. As we know, they're well north of 200 horsepower. Normally kick around 230, 240 horsepower. About 200, just under 200 foot-pound of torque. More than you're going to need for the road. Right, left-hand drive RX5 time. Well, as you know, we've done the cage. It's done the turbo conversion on this one as well. We've put all the dashboard back in on this one. Same as underneath on the bonnet on that one there, but the difference is as well, this is had the intercooler, but this guy's going to track it a bit more. So we have got an oil cooler in here tucked under. The nose cone's been cut out the aperture there for the 13-way oil cooler that sit under there, well, just to help with that, mainly because it's track focus. On the road, it's not such of a problem. The carbon aero screen's been fitted as well now, finished off the stripe pack, because it did have wipers and everything else on all of that on this. It's all been removed. Got the roll cage with the race mirrors on there now as well. So yeah, she's getting really buttoned up now, ready for sort of test drives. It's got the wheel with brakes on it, so we just got to test all those, give it a run, make sure stop, starts, goes, puts the boost down, and that's all we want to see. Right, well, hopefully you saw the Cup chassis out at Pembrey. Dave Watson peddling that, car 85, I do believe, was testing that. He did test A, qualifying, 3 races, 1 wet, 2 dry. Car performed exactly where we wanted it to be. There is obviously a short highlights on here, but I think Anna's going to throw you up a link as well to watch the whole race. She's nodding there, so you'll be able to see the whole race as well, about what he went on. Did really well in the wet. He's exactly where we thought he was going to be in the dry. If you want to get into the Cup chassis, now you've seen it, it goes round. The new sump system works perfectly. It's setting really good lap times. The Gen 2 ball set is always a stonking engine, performing exactly what we need to do. And we're always looking to improve it. A couple of more tweaks here and there, but generally it's out of the box, ready to go. So if you want to know more about the Cup car, or what we're going to be doing with the race series, or you just want to get in and order one up, send us a phone call, send us an email, or speak to us at Rich at RLM Racing. Right, after a successful Stony Kit Car Show, don't forget about Newark. So if you're heading down way, it's pretty much middle of the country, nicely set out for north and south to get to, back in July, and I will post that up there for you link. It's going to be a nice 2-day event as well, so plenty of opportunities for you to come down, have a look at us and other suppliers that are around there, and hopefully it'll be nice and sunny, there'll be plenty of cars outside. Right, another stonking week here. Hope you enjoyed the footage at Pembrey and everything else that we're doing here. And if you want to know more and keep in touch, then obviously press that like and subscribe button down there, and that will help you keep us in touch. But if not, if you want to know more and come and visit us at the factory, you know where we are any time. Mixing my words up, guys. I'm that excited. That's it, guys. Like, share, subscribe. Catch you next week. Put in the joke. I don't care.